You've got bars, you want the world to hear them, and you plan on taking over the rap game, but how's anyone going to hear your lyrics if you don't record them? My name is El Marquis, musician, rapper, record producer, unashamed Christ follower, and today I'm going to teach you how to record professional vocals in a home studio.
El Marquis Productions.
These tips apply to both artists and engineers who record other vocalists. You don't necessarily need to be in a professional studio to record high quality and professional vocals. Following these guidelines will help you record professional and clean sounding vocals. The first thing you need is a computer. You should invest in a computer that's fast enough to handle recording audio. I use a Mac, but PCs are also fine too. The second thing you need is a mic. The two main types of mics that you should consider getting are either a condenser mic or a dynamic mic. They record audio slightly differently and produce a slightly different sound. I personally prefer tracking vocals with a condenser mic, but dynamic mics work great as well. You should make your decision off of what sounds good to you and what you personally need for the style of music that you make. Also, don't buy a very cheap microphone and expect your vocals to sound as good as Drake's. Especially if you're just starting out, you don't need to spend over $1,000 on a microphone, but you should invest in one that is of high quality. So be prepared to spend a couple $100s on a mic. In order to get the audio from the mic to your computer, you need an audio interface. Audio interfaces come with preamps that amplify the signal that the mic generates and turns the level up to a usable level. You also send a clean signal from your computer to your headphones or your speakers. If you're looking for the best budget interface, I highly recommend getting the Focusrite Scarlett. I've used one for over 6 years and it never let me down. If you're on a bigger budget, I highly recommend getting the Universal Audio Apollo Twin. It's definitely a huge step up in quality from the Focusrite Scarlett, but you won't be going wrong with investing in either of these interfaces. These are the bare necessities that you need to record your vocals, but there are other things that you also should consider purchasing to get the most out of your recordings and get them to sound as clean and professional as possible. I definitely recommend that you get a pop filter for your microphone. They de-emphasize plosives such as P's and B's. They're not too expensive and they're very effective. The next thing that a lot of people overlook is acoustic treatment. Every room has its own sound, and you usually don't want too much room noise in your recordings. Recording in a big room with bare walls will often make your recordings sound like they were done in a bathroom, and that sounds terrible. Acoustic treatment definitely isn't the easiest thing to invest in because all rooms are different and there's a lot of research that you need to do before you just go out and buy something, but you definitely should do a lot of research to find out what you actually need, and if you can, speak to a room analyst. I put bass traps in the top corners of my studio and an acoustic blanket behind my monitor, as well as one in the back of the studio in a baffle shape in order to act as a vocal booth. I used to even use a reflective shield around my mic in order to add even more isolation, but I recently swapped that out for the chaotic eyeball, which also works very well even on its own. What's cool about that is that it goes all around your mic to act as a vocal booth, and it comes with a pop filter. If nothing else, even the chaotic eyeball alone will improve your recordings. That's probably the easiest solution to get rid of a lot of the room noise in your recordings. It won't get rid of all of it if your room is really echoey, but it will get rid of a lot of it and will make your vocals sound so much cleaner than without it. My room definitely isn't perfect, but the treatment that I do have has made a night and day difference. One of the most important aspects of getting good recordings is practicing proper mic technique. Make sure that you set the gain levels on your interface or preamp at a level that's loud enough to get a clean signal, but not so loud to where you're distorting and in the red. Because once you start distorting and clipping, game over. You can't get rid of it very easily, and at all actually. And that sounds horrible. That definitely sounds like some SoundCloud rap. Play around with different mic positions to figure out what works best for your voice. You can put the mic directly at your mouth, a little bit below, a little bit higher, even a little off axis, and they'll give you different tones that you can play around with. So figure out what works best for you, your voice, and the specific song that you're recording. And be mindful of the distance between you and your mic. If you stand closer to it, you'll start activating the proximity effect, which will bring out the bass tones of your voice. If you stand about 6 inches away, which is what I recommend, you get a pretty neutral tone. If you start standing further back, you'll sound a bit more distant, as well as picking up more of the room noise. And if you really want to take the quality of your recordings to the next level, invest in outboard gear. Audio interfaces come with preamps inside of them, but external preamps can give you an even higher quality signal. Some people even add outboard compressors to lightly compress your vocals as you're recording them, and possibly even EQs. That's why I like the Apollo Twin so much, because you can actually emulate those gears inside of its software and changes how the actual preamps react. And that gives you an analog sound in the digital realm. But you don't necessarily need outboard gear to get good quality recordings. Following the previous tips will help you out a lot more. The last step comes down to mixing your vocals. Artists, if you want your music to be taken seriously, you need to get it mixed and mastered. Either learn how to do it yourself on YouTube or through courses or through books, or hire an engineer like myself who already knows how to mix and master music and send your music out to other people to be mixed and mastered. When you do, make sure that you follow all the steps that I discussed previously and send your tracks in the format that your engineer asks for. I always ask artists to pull down all the tracks until there's minus 6 dB of headroom on the master channel, and then remove all the effects like the EQs, the compressors, and the reverbs. Then export each track individually as a 24-bit WAV file. These are called trackouts. Other engineers usually ask for the same thing. In order to help them out, you can send an MP3 of a rough mix that you worked on yourself, but make sure that you strip off all the effects when you send the trackouts. All in all, you can achieve high quality vocal recordings inside your home. All it takes is the right gear, good room acoustics, and a good mix. Now that you know how to properly record your vocals, go out there and make some beautiful music. Thank you for watching this video. If you like what you've seen today, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you know whenever I upload new videos. Also be sure to go down in the description below where you can find links to all the products that I mentioned throughout this video. And if you do decide to get this gear, I would appreciate it if you use the links in my description. When you click on them and purchase through them, I get a small percentage of that sale at no additional cost to you, and that helps me to continue producing high quality content for you and for the artists that I work with. Now go down in the comment section below and let me know, do you have any more questions about recording vocals? Do you need your songs mixed? Let me know in the comment section below. My name is El Marquis, El Marquis Productions. God bless.